Hey guys, I'm Beth the Builder, and this week I'm going to patch a hole in my plaster walls. So it's really hard to see right now because there's kind of a shadow, but I'll show you guys what we're working with. So I have a patch. It's a self-adhesive 6" by 6" wall repair patch. I have my wall board joint compound. I have a putty knife. I have some string. I have some ideas how to fix it. So I can see a screw in here of where they've tried to secure this 1x4 piece of trim and then the actual half post to the wall. And because of this, this was a capped wall that they had to saw down, then, the plaster's probably just gotten damaged from moving the stairs and all the things. It's not as big of a hole as I thought it might be, but I can see there's all the plaster there that just needs to be secured in place. So I'm thinking to use the patch on the inside of the wall. So we're gonna see how that goes. I've seen some stuff that I think will work to pull the plaster flush with the rest of the wall, but we'll just see how it goes. Alrighty, so we're all done here, and look at that, you can barely even tell. So I'm pretty good at going to projects and thinking on my feet, so when my first initial idea doesn't work out, I'm pretty good at pivoting and being like, I'm gonna try something else. So I'd seen a couple different videos, different tricks for fixing holes, cracks, etc. It's always drywall nowadays. No one's ever working with plaster in videos. And one of them was if all the pieces are there, how to kind of put something behind it to pull all those pieces forward. And I'd seen various other tips and tricks of things that I had thought maybe I'd try and use. I ended up just using the patch as normal, just putting it on top and then putting joint compound on top. And then I did put some in the hole as well to kind of try and fill it in a little bit and get the patch to have something to adhere to on both sides. Is that the right way to do that? I don't know. But that's what I did. And you can't even tell. Especially because of where this is, there's a big shadow on this all the time. So maybe if it was in the middle of the wall, I'd of course be even more particular about wanting to hide all the edges and doing multiple thin coats. Versus this, I did several thick coats, sanded it down, painted it. It was look at that, it's great. But working with plaster is tricky, and all the pieces were there, but it was just too small of a space to try and work with, and there's nothing the lathe has been pressed away because of screws in this and then just cutting the wall. It's just kind of a mess back there, so there's nothing for the plaster to affix to. I couldn't even, the lathe is just pressed away. So I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna fight with this. It's not that big of a deal. I know the pieces are there, and I guess I could make a bigger hole to fix the small hole, but that seems, in this scenario anyway, it seems like not the way to go. And that's where thinking on your feet and just pivoting and being well, it's okay, we'll just do something else is, it's a beneficial quality to have when doing DIY projects. So I sanded it down pretty lightly because it didn't need a lot, and then used my vacuum along with it again to help cut down on dust. and we painted it, and I think it looks pretty good. I'll clean up this edge a little bit because I think it just needs to be, yeah, it just needs to be filled a little bit. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty easy fix, even though, I mean, it's not a super fun thing to have to do, but it is easy, and you can find all the things. The joint compound is totally the way to go with plaster. It adheres really well. It does shrink a little bit, so then doing multiple coats is just the way to go, and it's not a big deal. Just the patch, joint compound, and then a putty knife. That's all it is. It cost me like $15, I think. Pretty great. And I've used that joint compound for all kinds of other weird, like that project up there, filling dumb holes, fixing cracks, etc. It's very useful. I hope this helped you maybe fix a dumb, weird crack, hole, whatever in your walls. If you have drywall, it's a little bit of a different beast, but the principle is kind of the same. So yeah, go fix all the holes in your walls. Give me a like, subscribe. Thanks for pushing me up on into 900 subscribers. We're getting there to 1,000 and I'm pumped. So thank you, and I'll see you guys next week with a new video.